Well, an Australian listed rare earths digger called Vital Metals has signed a 5-year supply deal with Retech AS for the sale of its rare earth oxide, which is coming out of Canada. For more on the deal, the terms, and where we are on terms of rare earths, I'm pleased to say we're joined by Geoff Atkins. He is the Managing Director of Vital Metals. Geoff, welcome to Ausbiz. Thank you so much for joining us. So, is this a material announcement? It's a term sheet for offtake with an REE separation company. What are the details?
Nadine, thanks very much for having me on. Yes, look, this is a very significant contract for Vital. This is our first customer. It is a binding term sheet. We'll now obviously work towards the definitive agreements. But this contract means that Retech are going to be our cornerstone customer for our product. Coming out of the Netchelart project for the first 5 years.
And it's a Norwegian company, correct me if I'm wrong. So how do you get the rare earths and the product to them? How are they using it? Why did they come to Vital?
So I've actually known the team up at Retech for over 10 years, and they're an extremely experienced company. They have an enormous amount of knowledge in the processing of rare earths, having run a pilot plant for about the last 10 years on their separation process. They also have a team who have a great deal of experience in operating rare earth plants in Europe and supplying those products to the customers. So what our agreement is that we will produce a mixed rare earth carbonate product from our Netchelart project, and that will come out of our extraction plant in Saskatoon. We will then ship that up to Norway to Retech's facility, where they will separate that and sell it to their end product, to their customers.
Okay, interesting. I would imagine, I think you go into production in 2021. How's that going, by the way? And it must be just so crucial to keep costs down, to keep costs under control. Is that one of the big challenges you face, Geoff?
That's one of the massive challenges for rare earth projects. Traditionally, the capital costs are very high because the production of rare earths can be quite a complex process. So our strategy has really been around how we can minimise our capital costs. And part of that is bringing the project into production as quickly as possible. So as you say, our target at the moment is to commence production next year. So we're moving full steam ahead with that, and this agreement with Retech is really critical to achieving that. So our plans now are for the mobilisation of our mining fleet in about March, and with first product being produced by the end of next year.
Well, that's a milestone, isn't it? So when it comes to the amount of product that will be produced, Retech probably won't take it all. So where else do you start to look to get more of these offtake agreements in place?
Well, there are a number of different companies who are looking for a mixed rare earth product. Our partners in our extraction facility in Saskatoon, the SRC, Saskatchewan Research Council, they're currently in the process of building their own separation facility. So they are obviously a potential customer for us. There are also a number of other facilities, both inside and outside of China. I mean, our focus is definitely on establishing a supply chain outside of China. And that's really where the agreement with Retech is very important to us, because it means that we have a customer who we'll work very closely with and partner with to help establish that supply chain.
Covered there, Canada as well. Are there ambitions to get some of the product into the US? Because of course the US has made clear that they'd like to source rare earths from anywhere other than China pretty much.
Absolutely. And I think being located in Canada does give us a particular strategic advantage moving into North America. Canada and North America have signed a critical mineral strategy, and we're obviously working with a number of groups through Canada and the US to assist with implementing that strategy.
Okay, so what is the next milestone? I know that production end of 2021. What needs to go right between now and then? I do know that the western provinces of Canada are having a pretty tough time, with COVID right now. Is that one potential setback?
Look, from our perspective, being based up in the Northwest Territories, they don't have much of an issue with COVID. It's very similar to in Australia, notwithstanding the current situations in Sydney. The biggest challenge there is really more around our ability to travel from Australia up to Canada. But from our perspective, we have a very good team on the ground in Yellowknife, and we also have a very good working relationship with SRC in Saskatoon to develop that. From a milestone perspective, for us, the key ones now are we'll convert our term sheet into the definitive agreement. As I mentioned before, we'll mobilise our mining fleet over the northern winter and start operating through next year, with first product coming out at the end of the year.
All right. Well, thanks so much for getting us across the detail of that, Geoff. We wish you well, and we'll touch base at a later date.
Great. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on.